Hello, Gary Champion, Psychic Medium once again. This is an informative video. It's very little psychic medium stuff in it, but um, it supports what I've been hearing. That I've always said there were three viruses, one right after the other. And then after a while, I started hearing more to come. Well, I thought more to come meant um, those three. Well, that's not what it is because I'm still hearing it. And there's three known viruses out now. With funny, well, the last one has a funny name. I can't pronounce it. But I got curious and started doing some research. And these are the things I found out about bats and the coronavirus. They don't know for sure, but the bat is a prime suspect. Bats can carry this virus and never get ill. They already have antibodies against it and other viruses. We get infected and we have to build antibodies after the fact. There are 1,400 bat species. South of here in Austin, there's caves, Austin, Texas. I'm in Texas. And there's a nighttime show. It's advertised. Bats come out of the caves. They go out and eat mosquitoes and bugs, and then they go back. And it's a big deal. People gather to watch these bats. Isn't that strange? But it's always been there. It's always been a big deal. Scientists say that bats carry at least 50 viruses. And they believe that most of them will eventually make the jump from bat to human. So more to come means maybe 50, maybe 100. We don't know. But they've counted 50. They actually identified them. And here's a rundown. I'm as ignorant as anybody. I didn't know these viruses were out there because the news doesn't tell us. It's not interesting. No one's getting shot. No one's getting run over. No one's cheating on their taxes. It's not news. Believe me, this is the biggest bit of news you're going to hear in the next 6 months. 1967, Marburg virus in Europe. 1976, and 2014, Ebola in Africa. They don't have anything for that. It just kills people. That's one of the worst ones. 1996, Hintervirus in Australia. 1998, Napa virus in Malaysia. Of course, we don't hear about those. And then the coronavirus in China. 2013 MERS, Arabian Peninsula. See, we wouldn't have heard of that one. 2020 COVID-19, entire planet. Now remember, the bats that carry this have antibodies against it. We don't. And these scientists, without making a big fanfare about it, they're all over the world now studying bats to figure out what can be done. How can we deal with these viruses that they know are going to end up out here in us? Why? Because that's what's happening. They make the leap to humans, and then we have no antibodies, so it just kills lots of people. There's a place called Stony Brook that has a collection of bat parts that they're studying. Just super frozen bat parts. They're pulling them out and studying them. The viruses enter through the nose. I didn't know that. We were out yesterday with our mask on, and most people who have masks on are kind of half-assing it. They've got their nose out. You notice that? Because they're hard to breathe in these masks. And my wife and I have ordered some new masks that are supposed to be good for that. Some kind of a super mask that repels liquid, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, you may see it on the internet. I think it's called a super mask. I don't want to sell their stuff, but anyway, the virus enters through the nose. So uncovering your nose means you have no protection. Doesn't enter through the mouth. You're covering your mouth up. And a few might get it that way, but mostly it comes through the nasal passages. Nose out of mask, bad idea. That's my note I made. They're studying it because understanding how the bats keep this virus from killing them might help us. Bats have a super immunity. Their system, their defense system, is different than ours. Something called interferon has something to do with it. And they're studying the DNA of bats to figure out why their DNA, how it's different than ours, and what we may derive from that to use to keep us from catching all these 50 viruses. I didn't know this either. It's groundbreaking stuff for me. In humans, our immune systems are off most of the time. Our immune system's not on. I didn't know that. I thought it was always on. Apparently not. Bats are always on. Their immune system is on all the time. It never shuts down. So we've already had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 7 viruses from bats that a lot of them we've never heard of, and they're in other countries. Certainly we've heard of Ebola because it just killed everybody. This is the biggest pandemic virus that's gone around the world. There's no place where it isn't. So scientists, we put a lot of faith in scientists. I've noticed that over the years. Scientists will figure that out and save us. No, it's not necessarily so, because you have the human factor. Scientists have been yelling about global change since the 60s as a child. Cars were made more efficiently because the pollution was creating a greenhouse effect, which was warming They knew that in the 60s. Probably knew it in the 40s and 30s. The Romans knew it, even back in Romans' time, because they cut down a forest and noticed how hot it got over there. Immediately got hot. So, and I've reported this before, but 50 viruses, and we've only had like 7 of them out there. That doesn't look good, does it? And we have no immunity, because our immunity does not turn on until we're infected. By then it's too late. And it's very complicated. I watched a video about it and I could talk about it, but not very well. This is what I've been hearing, more to come. Every time I would think about the virus, more to come. And I thought, well, that's just these 3, but no, apparently there's 50. Now, right now, there's at least a couple of variations of the original coronavirus. Those are just variations of the original, the Delta and something else. I can't remember the name of it. But that can be as deadly or even more deadly than the original virus. It's an adaptation of the virus to endure or survive or whatever, mutation. So you got one virus that may mutate 10 different times. We got 50 of them. We got thousands of them. So for those of you who want to think, and you're welcome to think it, that we don't need a virus, a vaccine, rethink it. Because there's 5,000 of them. There's 50 of them waiting in the same bats that gave us this. that we don't have any defense for. I've not heard about scientists going all over the world and capturing bats and studying their DNA and their respiratory systems and things like that. We need to wake up. This is like getting the flu vaccine. It's exactly the same. Flu varies every year. It mutates. Scientists figure out what the new mutation is. They make up a shot and you get it. And that's not foolproof, because you can get the shot and it can end up not being the current flu. It's the newest flu shot, but it may not end up being the dominant flu. You may still get flu if you get the flu shot. It's not the one you got the shot for. It's the one that you didn't get the shot for. A mutated strain of flu from last year or something that just currently happened. They happen so quickly they can't develop a shot for it that quick. Well, with this new shot that they're using, where it's not a vaccine really, it imitates the virus and your body builds antibodies against it. It's a fake. It's a fake vaccine, but that works. Anyway, so if you're thinking you don't have to get a shot, and this is like the flu shot, there'll be a variation every year that we're going to be getting till the end of time. Till we have so many of these. You know, a cold is a virus. And you can get colds all the time. I've got antibodies. Every cold is a different virus. So that's why we can't fight it off. By the time your body builds immunities to it, it's 10 days and it's gone. But you can catch another one. Or you can catch the one that you just had. And let's say you have a cold and you get a nose inhaler to keep the mucus down. Mucus, what an awful word. And you shoot it into your nose and you let go of that plunger. It sucks some of that virus down in the bottle. You can reinfect yourself by using the same spray bottle. I know that because I've done it, and that was how it was explained to me by a doctor. Opened it up and it was yellow in there. I had infected my own medicine and got it again, because I guess I hadn't built enough immunity against it. So this is highly complex, way over my head. But I've been seeing a lot of oddball stuff about it, and I've been hearing a lot of oddball stuff. No, it's not Armageddon. It's not the end of the world. We're going to lose a lot of people for no reason. Okay, this is interesting. I guess this is a sort of a mediumistic video. They're showing me a video, Andy Taylor, what's that called? Leave It to Beaver. No, that's not it. Anyway, Andy Taylor made hundreds of those little videos. And at one time, there was a farmer that needed to get his smallpox vaccination or whatever. He wouldn't do it. And they tricked the farmer into getting the shot. So they played a trick on him, pretended like that he was dead, and they were singing a song, and he was in jail, and so he went to sleep, and he woke up, and he got the shot. Well, I can't die from this. And the girl's giving them a shot, and he looks and he says, "Is that all that was? Is that all that is?" Yeah. It's a little nothing. So I don't know what fears keep people from doing maybe the right thing. I have no idea. I don't. You have to trust the science sometimes. And they get it right on the big stuff. They may mess up on a lot of little stuff. They may take out a kidney that they're not supposed to take out, or amputate a leg, the wrong leg, or give you some bad advice about medicine for blood pressure or something. But truth is, what was the last thing that was killed? What was the last disease that was actually conquered? It was polio. It wasn't conquered till I had it, and a lot of other people. A million people died, more than that. You sort of got to trust these guys. Shot's not killing anybody. Worldwide hysteria over getting the shot. We get these stupid flu shots every year, and pneumonia shots, and shingle shots, and measles shots, and diphtheria, and pneumonia. All these shots we get, and yet this shot no one wants to get. Well, half the country doesn't want to get it. Stop thinking in terms of the government telling you what to do. That's what's a lot of this. Government tells us everything to do. You can't drive a car without registering and paying the tax on it and have a driver's license and passing tests and blah, blah, blah. It's rule after rule after rule after rule in society. This is just another one of those that's smart. And now the government's required that everybody that works for the government is going to have the shot. Or they're not going to work for the government. Or they're going to be isolated in some way. It should be like when I grew up, everybody smoked. Everybody smoked cigarettes and blew smoke in your face. Everybody was breathing everybody else's smoke. And then someone got the bright idea, let's stop doing that. Maybe we'll live a little longer. And then it became a shameful thing that the holdover dinosaur smokers were ostracized. They'd go down in the alley out of the building to smoke. And it made them uncomfortable. It made them unpopular. They were almost shunned, and a lot of them were just let go. I'm afraid that's what's happening here. That we're going to see a lot of military people drop out of the military over a shot. Try not to think about the government is strong-arming you into doing something you just don't want to do. It's like a little child. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it. This is worldwide serious stuff. The more people have the shot, we get closer. We're nowhere near herd immunity. That's like 70% or something. We're at maybe 48%. But if we can get there, then we save humans. We save the planet. We'll get us a little super COVID t-shirts and pass them out. I don't know. There's got to be a solution. Strange things survive long past when they should. Anyway, this is my contribution. I don't want any hate mail because I don't care. Write me some hate mail. I'm gonna read your text and tell you something about yourself. So feel free. And right now it's striking really healthy people. And I got told the other day, I have a friend that hadn't got the shot. She says she's really, really healthy and works out and jogs and is really healthy, so she's not going to get it. Wrong. Hospitals are full of them. Some guy died the other day. He had a problem. They put him in an ambulance and tried to deposit him in a hospital, and 100, maybe 150 hospitals refused him because they're full of these healthy people that are unvaccinated. They're dying. There's no place for him. You can't put him in an environment rich with coronavirus all over the air, and even if his operation was, even if he survived whatever it was, a heart attack, he'd probably die of that because his immune system's weak. Anyway, I don't mean to drone on about it, but I think this has something to do with why I'm in healing right now. That I primarily am a psychic medium. That's what I do, and this has kind of come upon me this year, and I'm having success at it. People that might not have made it are now walking around. Some pretty miraculous stuff going on. I do not, however, know if it works on coronavirus. I don't know anything about it. No one's doing it, I don't think. I don't think anybody's allowed into a hospital to do that. And everything has limits. If your lungs are gone and your immune system shot and you have all these things going wrong with you, I doubt that that's going to save you at the last minute, but it's possible. I'm hoping to find someone who's actually doing that in a hospital that has some statistical data on the results and whether energy healing has any effect on it or not. I would think it would, especially if you catch it before it goes crazy in your body and destroys everything. So I think that's what my impetus is, that the healing work that I'm doing now has been surprising. And like I say, and a lot of people on the channel, I'm not a healer. I'm going to join you to heal, but I'm not a healer. By the way, we have that coming up this weekend. September 19th, free healing. So somebody in the chat room on my YouTube channel, which is where this video is playing, you got to subscribe and be in the chat room if you're ill. We send a bunch of healers get together virtually and send their energy to you. It's been a lot of fun and helpful. And October 3rd, virtual gallery readings. You have to go to the website to sign up for that. Skype. October 10th, free readings. October 17th, free healing, just kind of like this month, repeating. And then a lot of other stuff. There's a Halloween seance, October 31st. Virtual Skype, 7 o'clock. Stuff like that. It's all on my website, the schedule coming out, and I'm repeating it, hoping people will join up and learn how to self-heal and do all these other things I'm trying to teach. They're working for me. All the stuff I'm teaching, I do myself. I'm not just saying do this. I'm saying the odds of you surviving are greater with a shot than without it. And if you don't get the shot and you get it, maybe energy healing. There may be an energy healing healer near you that you could contact to get some hands-on energy healing that might stifle this crap before it gets us. I don't know anybody doing that because people who are immunocompromised that are probably good healers wouldn't go near a coronavirus patient. The chances of them catching it are pretty high. So the one thing that keeps us from helping you is protocol. They don't let people like me, well, they wouldn't let me walk around the building, but Reiki people have a certain history and a background and trustworthiness that I don't have. Maybe they're doing work. Maybe they're... And that's all this video is. It's an attempt to help. That's all it is. To maybe open our eyes. I didn't know bats had 50 viruses in them. And scientists think all 50 of them are going to end up out here. They leap from bats to pigs or whatever, and we eat that, and now we've got it. Or it jumps to humans. Makes that leap. I didn't know that. Which means a long time of getting shots. So if you think this is the final shot, I'm not going to do this shot. There's a whole bunch of them coming. And the chances of anybody surviving all these viruses is zero. Less than zero, I think. So protect yourself. Be good to each other out there. Stay alert. A lot of good scientists are working on this. And I believe you do have to trust the science. You don't have to trust the government. That might be foolhardy, but you got to trust these scientists that are day and night working in little labs and their little things, risking their life, maybe going to catch this, trying to solve this problem before it really gets bad. It's not bad yet. We've lost millions of people. It's not bad yet. But they're trying to do something, and I applaud them for it, and I thank you for letting me find this information and disseminate it in some way or other. we have a motto for the healing class on September 19th. We made it up last month, or I made it up. It's kind of like everyone counts or no one counts. And that's the way it ought to be in life. That's the way it ought to be in all these issues we're having with things. Everybody counts or no one counts. We gotta make everybody count. No one human is more valuable than another, I don't think. Life is precious. What is that? Live long and prosper. No fear, no regret. On my here. Thanks for watching.